What's up everyone, it's Hitman89. Hope you're having an awesome day. Yeah, I'm in the middle of moving. Anyway, we just had the best cross-platform games. Check it out if you want even more options, because today we have the best PC games of 2025, and I focused on exclusives. Before we dive into the first game, did you know that you could get games like Evil West or maybe Trepang 2 for less than $6? Just look up anything you want. Path of Exile 2, or maybe you need Game Pass Ultimate, which is now $30, it only costs $10 here. If you're like me and always want to play the latest games right away, you can save 15 to 30% even on day one releases. No matter where you live, the best deals are on Instant Gaming. So even if you've only got $10, click the link in the description or scan the QR code and you'll be able to grab at least 3 games for dirt cheap. Alright, we're gonna have the exclusives and PC ports first, then the cross-platform games. And I wanted to open up with Void Breaker because I feel like most of you haven't heard of this roguelite FPS. It reminded me of Control because of the awesome physics and the way you use telekinesis to pick up objects and throw them at enemies, but also, as I was dodging all these particles, I couldn't help but think of Returnal. Void Breaker looks pretty good, it's super well optimized, and it's made by one dev. Impressive. You know what's not impressive though? My shitty aim. I should stop using the controller all the time, cause now, whenever I have to play with the keyboard and mouse, I get my ass kicked. But at least, destroying the environments and crushing enemies with the debris is a blast. I like how, in addition to the challenge in combat, you have to manage your temporary upgrades through this grid. And don't worry if you suck, you'll still be able to unlock permanent upgrades and new weapons. Void Breaker costs less than $20, and it's also on PC Game Pass, so if you like what you see, be sure to pick it up. Schedule 1 lets you grow weed, sell all kinds of drugs, and slowly expand your business. I grew mine so much that I had to hire a bunch of losers to help me out. Problem is, they cost me a leg, and making sure they actually do their job turned out to be even more work than doing the whole thing myself. This is how it felt when I fired them.
You are done. Fired.
Not gonna lie, growing and selling drugs is fun, but knocking people out and running from cops using my skateboard is by far my favorite activity in Schedule 1. Let's just move on to the next game. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is one of the best third-person shooters I played. I didn't like the TV show that much though, I think I only made it to the second episode of Season 2. I spent half the game crawling in grass trying to figure out the strategy to take out these fuckers. The other half, opening every drawer in the game, desperately looking for ammo, cause you only find a couple of bullets at a time. And when you add that to the sick AI that flanks you and constantly looks for you, every fight is a challenge. The fourth game every PC gamer should play is Moonlighter 2 The Endless Vault. I loved the first one, but I hated the art style, so I'm really glad that for the sequel, they decided to go with this one instead. Cause I don't know about you, but when I play a game, I like to feel that my GPU is being used at least a little. Anyway, in this game, to pay off your debt, you take on 2 jobs, Adventurer by night and Shopkeeper by day. 2 of my favorite things to do actually. That's probably why Moonlighter 2 is already one of my favorite games this year. I like how you have to thoroughly manage your backpack, cause relics can burn each other, increase their quality, and have all kinds of random buffs and debuffs. So there are way more roguelite elements than in the first game, even when it comes to the shopkeeping part. You have perks that let you make more money, which you can use to upgrade your weapons, potions, furniture, and pretty much everything. Moonlighter 2 quickly gets super addictive. Definitely a must-have. Escape from Tarkov 1.0 just released, but if you want a free, more accessible extraction shooter, try out Arena Breakout Infinite. It's a really good alternative, but the AI is dog shit. Seriously, those dumbasses threaten you for like 30 seconds before they even think of pulling the trigger.
I'll break every bone in your body.
Thank God you'll also be facing real players. They're much more fun to fight. Only problem is, I never seem to pack enough magazines, so I always find myself running out of ammo mid-fight. Alright, let's move on to the second and last free-to-play game on this list, Where Winds Meet. Honestly, this game pleasantly surprised me. It does so many things really well, including the character creator. So, as usual, I made an ugly-ass dude cause it helps me sit through cutscenes.
Okay, you keep the rest for yourself.
The graphics are uneven. They can go from breathtaking to disgusting within minutes, depending on the area. The combat is decent though. I've only played Where Winds Meet solo, but I'm pretty sure since this is an MMO, it's much better with friends. The 7th game on my list is also an MMO, except Dune Awakening is more survival oriented. So you have to hydrate yourself regularly and stay in the shade, or you'll die. And that's if you didn't make too much noise when traversing the desert and ended up swallowed by a sandworm. Honestly, I'm not into MMOs anymore, but if you are, you'll probably like this one. No, I'm Not a Human is basically Papers, Please. I don't know if you played that game, except here, you're not dealing with forged documents. Nah, instead, it's monsters called visitors, who pretend to be human and come knocking on your door. So you'll need to check their teeth, eyes, armpits, and even butthole. I made the last part up. In all seriousness now, the gameplay is pretty simple, and yeah, everyone looks creepy. But there's just something about this game that intrigued me and made me want to play it the second I saw it. And I liked it so much that I ended up beating it twice, just cause I didn't like the first ending I got. There are a total of 10 endings, by the way. You can get No, I'm Not a Human for less than $12, and it's worth every penny. I played the first Titan Quest with my brother 19 years ago, and now we just beat Titan Quest 2. I mean, it's an early access game and the campaign is only about 8 hours long. For now, of course. But it's super fun if you like ARPGs. Just make sure you have an at least okay rig if you want to run the game properly. Next, we have a game that just left early access. Farthest Frontier is a city builder where you start with just a caravan and a few settlers, and you have to harvest resources, build, and grow until you end up with something like this. This is what mine looks like, and I didn't build any defensive structures cause I was way too focused on harvesting food. So when my villagers got attacked by a wolf, they had to fist fight it. I ended up with rabies in my settlement. Alright, that's it for the exclusives. Now we'll have the best cross-platform games, starting with a heavily underrated one. Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon is best experienced on PC, cause last I checked, the console version ran like shit and had tons of screen tearing. Even maxed out, the game looks outdated, but the deep and challenging gameplay is what made me fall in love with it. Get Tainted Grail over Oblivion Remastered and you won't regret it. MGS3 is one of my favorite games of all time, and if you want to play Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, you need a sick PC to have some sort of smooth experience. Let's be honest, if it weren't for nostalgia, I wouldn't recommend this unoptimized mess.
Not for honor,
But for you. What? A grown man can't sing? Doom: The Dark Ages is available on console too, so why should you play it on PC? Two reasons. Number one, keyboard and mouse, obviously. And number two, full path tracing, which basically means you kiss half your frames goodbye just to see better reflections on puddles. Just kidding, there's much more to it. One of the most successful games of 2025 is Arc Raiders, and to get the full experience, make sure you have a mic, cause proximity chat makes the game 10 times better. Unless you only run into dickheads who keep shooting you on sight. Or even worse, pretend to be friendly and then shoot you in the back of the head and steal your valuable loot. Now, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is an excellent RPG, but for this list, I went with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 instead, cause it's my game of the year. Plus it just had another DLC. The last one, sadly. By the way, if you're new to the channel, I need to let you know I absolutely love medieval RPGs, even when they're straight up broken. KCD2 is well polished though, it runs great, looks solid, and most bugs were fixed. So if you want to work your ass off just to be able to afford clothes that aren't covered in shit, you need KCD2 in your life. Before we wrap this up, let me show you 3 games that didn't make the list just cause they're not really my cup of tea. Europa Universalis 5 is very similar to Crusader Kings 3, except it's deeper and even more detailed, so check it out if you like that kind of stuff. But if you're more into Souls-like games where you play a hot chick, then Stellar Blade is probably a better option for you. Last but not least, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth landed on PC earlier this year if you wanna ride chocobos and get hit on by pretty much every chick in the game. And those are the best games of 2025 to play on PC. If none of the games on this list really piqued your interest, or you already knew about every single one of them, then you should check out this vid, cause I picked the best obscure games you probably never heard of. You'll find the link in the description and on the outro screen as well. Please don't forget to subscribe to this shitty channel. It's been Hitman89. Have a good one.
I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're